People who have the INFJ personality type make up the smallest number of people in the U.S. Estimates vary between 1 and 3%, and that is by far the smallest percentage of personality type as indicated in the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. INFJ stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging. INFJs are known to be people who have a spike of creativity, often showing virtuoso skills in arts, music, and the sciences. They are a bundle of contradictions. They're introverted, yet have a domineering wish of being perceived well by society. Their creativity often goes hand in hand with their rationality, and they can be the best listeners who can also be completely absent from a conversation, despite being next to you while talking. These are just the overall sketches of what INFJs are typically like, given that some statistics point out that INFJ females are slightly larger in number than INFJ males. What are the traits that you would find in INFJ males? We will take a look at that shortly. But before that, we'd like to say that we're not just trying to know the INFJs, but all personality types. That way, we can deal with people a lot better and understand the various circumstances and how different people cope or react. As a result, we will learn to be compassionate with others and create a more friendly world. In this effort, we make these videos for free. If you'd like us to continue our journey in making the world a more empathic place, the least you can do is like these videos. You can also subscribe to our channel and help us further in our cause. If you hit the bell icon, you will never miss our videos. With that being said, let's return to the glaring question of what an INFJ male is like. What is it really that separates an INFJ male, or how can you spot them better? The sad thing is that an INFJ is not the regular guy whom you could cage inside the prism of your predefined conceptions. And sometimes INFJs display qualities that every other person does, such as following one's intuition, taking some time on their own to recharge, or judging people, not simply by their words, but by their actions. Nonetheless, all these little everyday things add up to the personality of the INFJ male in such a way that he makes up only about 1 to 2% of the human population. Isn't that something truly remarkable? Without further ado, let's dive right into the specific qualities that an INFJ male possesses. 1. It goes without saying that an INFJ is like a lone wolf, but you can equally say that he is a lone benevolent lamb, or in his ferocity, a lonely tiger or a lonely ignorer. But the word loner might not really do him justice. He is someone who works on his craft on his own, whether it be in the creative arts field or in scientific research or as a writer. It is not that he hates the company of others. It's more like the batteries of his system get that extra oomph on which he operates. And that propels him on a much higher plane of creativity than an everyday person you meet. If working on your own, having a bit of space to figure things out, or having a compelling meditative state to work on your arts is thought to have negative connotations with a loner, then the INFJ might as well say, bring it on. 2. However, having a lonesome bout of creativity or maddeningly brilliant insight on something cool shouldn't ever be confused with a sense of complete detachment from the rest of the world. The INFJ male needs to be well understood. Did we mention that INFJs are often considered to be walking, talking paradoxes? So they have this terrible urge to be understood, not only by their circle of well-meaning friends, but also acquaintances or other people in their lives. This is what sometimes makes them look like an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert. 3. Compassion runs deep within the core of an INFJ male. They will make sure that you feel well understood, and even the slightest bits of your being, such as hating to go to places that reek of cigarettes, or where the air is too warm, or that you find it annoying to stay in a place with pet hair. An INFJ will take care of all that when deciding where to hang out. Looking out for people who are in need of emotional or monetary nurturing is another robust way that INFJ males distinguish themselves from the crowd. While there's a general feeling that the world is a much meaner place than it was before, INFJ males tend not to fit into the stereotypical boxes. They give you hope in this world that goodness hasn't been snuffed out. It might be this very quality that makes people feel that INFJs are astonishing life partners. 4. While it might be true that an INFJ male makes you feel truly special, it is also the case that he can pretty much ghost you. This is often called an INFJ door slam. Think about the ends of relationships with your friends or a partner. How does it generally draw to a conclusion? Well, there are grand narratives, grand gestures, grand bickering, grand blames, or the grandest of tears. But an INFJ ends his relationship with a touch of the void. By void, we mean that an INFJ doesn't have anything to end the relationship but a mighty silence. Deletion of your contact number, blocking you on any means by which you can reach them, such as Facebook or WhatsApp, burying the smallest thing you gifted him. And letting this eternal silence speak for itself is what an INFJ male does. It's not that he hasn't given it some thought. He's given the other person plenty of chances, which have led to emotional distancing. And there's the last nail in the coffin, and the coffin of your relationship can be found nowhere, but perhaps in the vestiges of the pain that the person with whom the INFJ has distanced himself from. 5. You might often find that an INFJ male has a lot of problems figuring out a career. For him, life is not simply about reaching a particular destination. It is more about the journey. In a more poetic light, the INFJ male feels that the distinction that we draw between a journey and destination is not really there, so he will look to create positive impact upon the lives of people his job touches. If that is not there, then he will switch jobs from one place to another in the hope of ending up in the professions that are not simply about making money, but earning it. And it often dawns on them that such jobs aren't there. Therefore, they tend to take up jobs that are solitary in nature, where they can project their goodness onto others. Such jobs might be writer, psychiatrist, or musician, and these jobs are often arduous and take a lot of time if you're looking to become truly successful. So if you meet an INFJ in his midlife, you might see the effects of pursuing such a career. 6. An INFJ male is in touch with his feminine side. One might as well say that there's no such thing as a feminine side, and echo the words of the great writer James Baldwin, who said that we are all androgynous, not only because we are all born of a woman impregnated by the seed of a man, but because each of us, helplessly and forever, contains the other. Male in female, female in male, white in black, and black in white. We are a part of each other. And James Baldwin is spot on. So let's say that the INFJ male is more in touch with what is traditionally referred to as the feminine side. Whether it's not being brash about things, taking the feelings of others into consideration, trying to live in harmony, and avoiding conflict wherever possible, even when that hurts one's own feelings. An INFJ male will also do the cooking, cleaning, and other domestic chores, which doesn't feel in line with the traditional role of a male who is watching a baseball game and letting everyone know how badly the losers are doing, while letting the ladies take care of things that make home quite distinct from a house. 7. INFJ males tend to either give it their all in relationships or they're completely non-existent. There is no middle ground with them. They move on from their previous relationships, and when they enter new ones, they don't have the heavy baggage of mental scars of betrayals by their former friends or lovers. This is one of the reasons why their relationships tend to be more intense than your typical relationships. But the fact that they need time on their own to mull things over also means that the intensity has a series of hiatus. This balance might make you feel that this is some sort of a paradox, but who said that an INFJ is not one to begin with? 8. How can you have close relationships with someone who is as shy as an INFJ male? Well, it's never the case that an INFJ male is the shyest person in the world, but someone who is not willing to give him time to break down the walls of his shyness might not get the intimacy that an INFJ is capable of offering. A great relationship is something truly creative. Think of the magic of the creation of a couple. A newly born bundle of joy. If you take a look at the child, you'll be aware of the miracle that is life. the wonder that a child truly is. And a relationship with an INFJ is similar. You might be a dedicatee of his creation, a rustic poem, or a letter where every word is perfect, artwork where all the beauty that you possess glitters in his portrayal of you. I hope we gave you some inkling of what an INFJ male is really like. We mentioned in some of our other videos that they are a bundle of beauty and a bundle of contradictions too. They might be shy, yet outspoken when it comes to the matters that truly touch them. They might want to distance themselves from a relationship when it runs too toxic, but sometimes their overpowering sense of taking the emotions of others is what allowed the relationship to get as toxic as it did. Despite their often contradictory behavior, you mustn't forget that their benevolence, compassion, and willingness to help others shines throughout. Make sure that you appreciate them a lot when they are in your life. You might not know when they are about to give you a mighty door slam. But don't worry, there are ways of figuring out the stages that come before the mighty door slam as well. I hope that you got to know the INFJ male a lot better and that you can spot them that much quicker now. What are the other traits of an INFJ male that you have experienced? Any glaring examples we missed? Please let us know in the comments below. We always love to hear from you. And also, if you liked this video, you can subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button to learn more about people. Thanks! In the meantime, you can watch this video on your screen.